We're now with the Public Library, and I should note that Councilman Bednay is back with us, and it's good to see him. And if you could introduce yourself, your colleagues, talk a little bit about how your year's been, and then tell us about your budget proposals.
Great. I'm Tricia Bingle. I'm the interim director, and to my right is Susan Dry, who's our HR and finance manager, and to my left is Chase Adams, who's our administrative services manager, and behind me is Keith Simmons, our board chairman. This year has been another very, very busy one for the library. I have some very good news to report, though, in that we have a new director named. Kent Oliver is with the Stark County Public Library in northern Ohio right now, and he's going to be moving down here and taking our helm in June, and we're all very excited about that. This year, our Goodlettsville branch opened, and the response has been tremendous. Circulation and usage is up over 73%, so wow. That's really terrific. Planning is underway for our new branches. Community meetings will be starting very soon. A survey has been completed. Both branches will greatly increase in size with larger collections, more technology, room to meet and work. We've had dramatically increased programming this last year. We've provided over 3,500 public programs with more than 130,000 people in attendance. Our conservative estimate projects that we'll have about 6,000 programs this year with 227,000 in attendance. The Salon at 615 series, which has been sponsored by our foundation, has brought tremendous authors to Nashville. This is the third year of Limitless Libraries, and I can't tell you how wonderful our statistics are with it. We have 32 of the 54 schools participating have had increased in circulation with an average of 130% increase in circulation in those schools.
Wow, I got the appropriate time, I guess. I got an email yesterday from Amanda Smithfield, who had been at
Pearl
Cone and is now at UMFOG, and she sent me her list of comparing this year to last year and the number of books checked out by UMFOG students. And the last year was 1,100, and this year is 3,363.
And the school year is not over.
And the school year is not over. And the number of movies, which as a movie lover, I think is totally appropriate. And you can, sometimes the movie's shorter than the book. That last year there were 20 movies, and this year 554. Mm-hmm. So.
Did you like Hunger Games?
I haven't seen it yet, but my youngest daughter has seen it.
Yeah, it was great.
I thought, just to divert for a minute, just one of you had seen it yet.
Have you seen it?
Tricia, sorry we interrupted you.
That's okay. I want to point out that through the negotiations that we've done with our vendors, the money spent has saved over $171,000. If we had not had those increased vendor discounts, it would have cost almost $200,000 more to buy the materials that we've bought.
That's from buying on volume?
Buying in volume, yes.
That's great.
Last year, we sent 30,000 Nashville Public Library items to MNPS through our courier system. This year, thus far, we've sent over 70,000 items over to them. They're rivaling some of our branches in circulation. 63% of middle and high school students are now registered NPL patron. 15,000 of those students had never had library cards before this year. So wow. We are adding lots and lots of patrons and lifelong readers to Nashville libraries. As an extension of Limitless Libraries, we had been given a gift to the Library Foundation by someone inspired by what we're doing with the schools, and we've been able to start a renovation at the Hillwood High School Library. And so we are in the midst of that. Construction's going to start the day school is out, and the library is going to be completely transformed into a space where multiple classes can meet, where individuals can study, where groups can study. It's going to have lots of technology, comfortable furniture, everything on wheels so it can move around, and we're really excited by that. It's been a great partnership with the schools. When we started the construction, we found all kinds of HVAC problems that we really didn't want to repair, and so they're stepping up to the plate and doing that themselves so that we can concentrate our donors' money on the really impactful things. So
And that was about $1 million? Is that what?
about $500,000 for Hillwood. We'll have an additional sum of money for another school to do next year.
Good. The gift was about $1 million.
Correct.
Yeah, okay.
Yes. Another extension of Limitless Libraries and a goal that we are constantly working on is to bridge the digital divide. To that extent, we've received a grant. We're one of 12 libraries and museums across the country that received this grant from the Institute for Museum and Library Services. This $100,000 grant will allow us to plan digital learning labs in our libraries, and we're working with Vanderbilt to plan these labs. And what it will have, these spaces will be where students and teenagers can come and not just be consumers of technology, but actually learn how to create technology, create and mix their own music, create their own podcasts, create their own blogs, create their own gaming software. And it will have the software, the hardware, the mentors to be able to do that. And so we're very excited about that. We plan on incorporating the ideas of the digital media labs in our new branches. We hope to retrofit Maine, the teen area in Maine, and be able to put a full-blown digital media lab. And so we're excited about that. Our flood project continues to progress very well. We've conducted over 171 interviews with people affected by the flood, and we've already uploaded the first 100 items to our website. We are going to continue to expand that web portal to have a true archive of the flood as it happened in 2010. And as a result, happily, we did not expect this. We have 43 new dedicated library volunteers that we recruited as citizen archivists who have now become volunteers for the library in the Special Collections Division. We do have some challenges. This January, we saw a 114% increase in downloadable AV over the previous January with the explosion of e-readers that everyone got during the holiday season. They are finding all of our stuff, which is wonderful. And in ranking our busiest locations, our website is actually now number 4 in their busiest location for people downloading. And so that's a challenge to meet the demand. Our total circulation for January was up 6% over last year. So we're busier than we've ever been. Our patrons expect us to be a combination of Amazon and Barnes & Noble with community centers thrown in. And to ensure that we meet the needs of our patrons, we need to be able to adequately purchase materials in the formats they want and keep our facilities up to date. So that's what we're working on, and that's some of the challenges we face. With the 2% budget reduction, that would be accomplished through staffing at this point.
Okay, and what would the impact of that be?
Closing a small library.
That's 7.5 positions if that happened?
Correct.
Okay. And then you have things in the capital budget?
We do have, General Services has done the capital request for the Hickory Hollow location because that's the shared campus.
Right.
We do have, for Bellevue, we have a request in for $8.6 million for the new Bellevue location. There had already been $1 million appropriated for
Right.
the
Land
planning
acquisition and planning.
and the land acquisition.
So right now, in terms of the capital plans going forth, the 2 big projects are the Hickory Hollow project, which will be actually a library at the Hickory Hollow Mall area,
Correct.
and then a brand-new library in Bellevue.
Yes.
Okay. Good. Well, it sounds like things are going great. And let me first thank you publicly for stepping in and manning the ship here while since Donna left. Good job, and we certainly appreciate your hard work on that. What are there any other, in terms of the long-term needs for the libraries? Are there other where would you look next in terms of either major additions or renovations or new branches?
I don't know if it's so much physical as it is technological and materials. With the growth of electronic resources, our materials budget is stretched further and further. We're buying every new title in 6 different formats at this point,
Right.
and the electronic versions are more expensive than the print. So with the Hunger Games, we have regular print, large print, paperback. We'll have the DVD as soon as it comes out. We'll have the digital downloadable audio version and the ebook. And so keeping up with that is very difficult, and our technology needs are tremendous. Our integrated library system and a lot of our technology infrastructure is aging and needs to be replaced. So that's something that we really need to focus on. And just general infrastructure with our branches. Everyone keeps calling the area libraries the new libraries. Well, they're over 10 years old now,
Yeah.
and they've been well used and well loved, and the carpet needs to be replaced and the furniture needs to be replaced. And so I think that those probably are the areas that we need to focus most on.
And then the improvements you've asked for?
We've asked for an expansion to Limitless libraries. The elementary schools right now are not covered by Limitless libraries, and we need to go to elementary schools. There's almost 100 of them. We would need to expand our staffing resources as well as add materials to their collections to get them up to meet state standards.
Okay. And your requests or your needs that you've identified for technology, how will those come in? I mean, is that a
That would be capital request.
capital request? Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. Rich?
The only question I've got for clarification purposes is, the assumption is for both Hickory Hollow and Bellevue, if they're both funded in the capital spending plan, that they wouldn't have any operating impact this fiscal year, would have operating impact the next fiscal year. Is that right?
There is a small operating impact this year.
Okay.
If the Hickory Hollow location opens in July of
Right.
2013, we would need to have some staffing
Prior to,
before
got
that
it.
to get the shelves. So what we've been projecting is Hickory Hollow mid-2013
Got it.
and Bellevue a
little
year
bit
later.
Okay.
Since we have you on TV, do you have any Salon 615 events you want to plug coming up? Or is it-
We have, oh my gosh, I didn't expect that. We have 6 coming in
But
May.
tell the viewership what Salon 615 is.
Salon at 615 is a foundation-funded event, and we bring in national authors to do to talk about books in the libraries, and they take place. Our address is 615 Church Street, and they take place 6:15 at night. Adriana Trigiani is coming very soon, which we're very excited about. So I think she's our next one.
Good, okay. All right, thank you. I mean, I think this exciting year coming up. Obviously, we've got the 2 big capital projects, Limitless Libraries. I mean, I think is a really good program, Rich. And
I think so too.
and would
Oh, subtle, huh, Dave?
eager to see that.
That was how I quickly said I would too.
Eager to see that go forward. I think it'll be a little different in elementary school, obviously, but
It will be, but the elementary school librarians are sending us emails and making phone calls almost every day asking when their turn is.
yeah. I was at Hillwood and I saw they had some diagrams up of the design there, and I mean, I think that also is something I would love to see. Not necessarily right now, Rich, but all the high schools sort of get, and the middle schools, and the elementary schools get to a point where the library is really the room to be in, the most attractive place, and the place they want to stay and be after school in, and it'd be a great thing for those kids, those young people, and a great thing for the city.
Be a good thing to bring up at the school's budget hearing here in a couple weeks.
Yeah,
We'll invite you to the grand opening.
good. Well, thank you. All right, thanks a lot.